Hi, welcome to Mikey's Video Game Madness. Today we are playing Batman Arkham Knight. I know I already played again, but now we're playing something different. If you couldn't tell already by the title, today we're playing the Batmobile Trials. I actually gave it that name myself. I know I'm feeling super creative today. Not trying to impress anyone, but you know, it is what it is. So, I'm going to showcase the Batmobiles that we have available. This is the typical Batmobile that you already have, and I think I wasn't sure if you could zoom in and look at the models or not, but I figured out within time that you can. This might be a game I might cover more often, like not every aspect, like one of those Let's Plays or whatever. This is supposed to be like the 1960s Batmobile, but it's more like a homage with some paint on it. But sometime this month in October 2015, we're actually getting a legit 1960s Batmobile. I know a lot of fans of the older TV show would be stoked. I think one of the sorry about the message. One of the versions of the game that you bought at the store came with the prototype Batmobile. Now, as you can see by the yellow icon with the arrow on it, this is downloadable content. This is the 1989 Batmobile. One of the main reasons why I decided I needed the downloadable content. This came with the season pass, but you also can buy it separate. But if you add up everything together that you get, like if you bought it separately versus the season pass, it's not worth it. This is the Tumbler from the Nolan trilogy. I think they're okay movies. I don't think they're my favorite Batman movies. I still am partial to the animated series and the Tim Burton movies. Sorry, hold on. I just had like a gulp of soda before I did this, and it's gross. And yeah, I was trying not to burp on camera or on microphone actually. But yeah, those are all the Batmobiles. But anyway, the season pass, it was my birthday recently, so I said why not. It was on sale. When it's not on sale, it's $40, which is kind of steep if you're not a fan of this series. But if you're like me and a fan of this game, like it's a no-brainer. Like I would have gotten it for $40, but I got it on sale, I think for like $27. But since this game doesn't have any multiplayer, yeah, it has some skins or whatever, but there's like a lot of tracks and stuff like this to do, and each track based on it is based on like the film that the Batmobile's from. Like you have this that's based on one of the Christopher Nolan Batman films. I can't tell you which one. I can't tell you if the music is actually from the film or not, because I don't feel like the Christopher Nolan films actually, and I'm not picking on the films, I'm just saying as a Batman film, I think it sometimes took itself too seriously. I think it did sort of get kind of comic booky, especially in the third film, but as a whole, I think you really can't take a comic book movie like Batman all too seriously, because at the end of the day, it's a grown-ass vigilante dressed up as a bat. It's just sort of ridiculous in concept. How seriously are you going to take that? Could anyone actually pull that off in real life? And all the gadgets and weapons that he has, the military doesn't have, and all this stuff. So there's a lot of suspension of disbelief, and I feel like those movies expect you to believe that this shit is like 100% real, like it's a freaking biographical film or whatever. I don't know, but I like them for what they are. I just think that Tim Burton movies always combine the silliness and outrageousness of being a comic book film and added some seriousness to it. So it was a good blend. And then I'm not a fan of the 60s TV show or the the terrible Joel Schumacher Batman Forever and Batman and Robin films. I think they're terrible. I think one of the things that gets it right are the animated movies, and a lot of them are pretty dark and serious. And I think maybe it's because it's similar to the comic book look and vibe or whatever. Maybe it's your brain, like at least my brain is willing to believe more of the ridiculousness if it's animated. I don't know, that's just me. But these tracks are really cool. They actually kind of remind me of like a Universal Studios ride that maybe you'd go on where like flames and shit would blow up like really close nearby, but you weren't in any like inherent danger or whatever. It just kind of looked cool and was fun and action packed. Yeah, this is a time travel. Yeah, the tracks are short, but it's cool to be able to play the Batmobiles from the movie. I will admit they do control similar. I fucked up because I slowed down on the wall. Once you start driving on the wall, it throws me off terribly. So I apologize. You gotta kind of be confident and go in a straight line. Like these Batmobiles naturally control like a tank, that because that's kind of what they are. But yeah, yeah, these things are timed, and you have the music corresponding with the movie. Or at least I think it is. It sounds like it's from the Christopher Nolan movie. I know for a fact, so that I've seen Batman and Batman Returns like 2 billion times. Like that music's accurate for the film. And you know what? I didn't even know that they put the Christopher Nolan Batmobile into the game, but I did know that they put the Michael Keaton Batman and Batmobile into the game. Yeah, you actually get the suit as the Michael Keaton Batman too. I wish you get the Batman Return suit. There's subtle differences, like the one, the 1989 Batman, he actually has like molded like muscles on the suit, where like if you look at the chest piece of the Batman Returns bat suit, it's a lot more like mechanical looking, like Art Deco style. These tracks are obviously based more on Batman Returns than the Batman 1989 film, but you know, there are some subtle hints here and there, like those little baby balloons that shoot out the gas or whatever that the Joker was using to poison everybody. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen the 1989 Batman, but I kind of feel like it's your responsibility as a human being to have already seen that movie. But I mean, the only excuse you'd have is maybe you live in like this really underprivileged country, but how the hell are you getting YouTube and finding my channel out of all channels? I really feel bad for you if mine channel is the only source of content that you get. But thank you so much. I need as many subscribers as I can possibly get. That game over screens kind of looks like something that was like homebrewed. It doesn't fit in with like the production values of this game, in my opinion, at least. Always have to say my opinion to cover my ass, so I don't have a bunch of people saying like what a overprivileged like gamer I am. I'm so picky about shit, yada yada yada. And I'm just like, get over your fucking self. You're leaving a comment on YouTube and you're trying to argue with me. It's just ridiculous. You could be doing more productive things with your life than to argue with me about whether I feel like I'm an overprivileged gamer or whatever. But I'm going on a rant. Obviously, I record these videos, it seems like, when I get the least amount of sleep, even though I did take a nap, but I'm still groggy from it. So I don't know what's up. This weather is just, it sucks. Like, I don't know what's going on where you guys live, but it's like we had this tropical storm like around us, but I think we're just getting the rain from it, and it's just gross and cold outside. And I just got finished walking the dog, and it's just like you almost want to stay under the covers. Like, this is definitely, probably, you're gonna get a cold type weather. But anyway, you can use these Batmobiles as long as you finish like all the missions that require the special tank mode of the Batmobile that was made specifically for this game, and you actually can use that in the city. There's also a ton of skins. Another great thing, beside all the trial stuff and the little arena modes that you get with the downloadable content, are the story missions. Now some of them are quite short. I mean, they're not the length of the game. And you can have the argument, well, I already paid $60. Yes, you did. But they're still making this stuff. It's not like it's on disc. And you definitely can tell from the voice acting to like the production values, the assets, yada yada yada. When you bought the game, you have over 100 hours worth of stuff to do. This is one of my favorite games in probably the last few years. Like, this was going to be my game of the year, but between this and Metal Gear Solid 5, I've really been debating, and I haven't got to play Max Payne really all that much. I've only got to play it for 3 hours, and that game seems awesome as well. There are so many great games coming out this year, it's ridiculous. And then Fallout 4 is coming out. I think Star Wars Battlefront's going to be really awesome, but I don't think it's going to be Game of the Year. It might make the list. If I decide to make a list, I probably will, because I'm a poser and I like to fit in. This has some elements from the 1989 Batman. But anyway, what I was getting at, everybody made a big deal about the 1989 Batman. And I'm like, instead of, because there's like some rumored Justice League, like maybe direction that the Batman games are going to go in. This is supposedly Rocksteady's last Batman game, but they're pretty much promised that they'll still make games that maybe they won't be Arkham games, maybe they'll be Arkham Origins games, maybe they'll be Batman games that don't take place in this universe but have similar mechanics. So Warner Brothers, if you're listening, due to the excitement, myself included, I was super stoked to see this. Make your version of a Batman game that takes place in the Tim Burton 1989 and Batman Returns universe. Make the sequel that never was of the third Batman film that was going to be directed by Tim Burton. And yeah, Tim Burton's films did have some silly elements, so fix those and use that amazing Danny Elfman score that you're using on this track. The Lego Batman games, oh my gosh, like, one of the coolest things about them is they use the Tim Burton soundtrack, but they use the same fucking song over and over again. If you ever got the Batman, not the one by Prince, that's pretty awful. If you like it, I'm really sorry that I just crushed like everything that you believe in, but in my opinion, it was pretty bad. I mean, the couple of songs that are in the movie are nostalgic just because they were in one of my favorite movies, but you know, it's whatever. But there was more than 2 tracks if you got the orchestrated Danny Elfman Batman or Batman Returns soundtrack. A matter of fact, I think the Batman Returns soundtrack might have been 2 discs, and I think the Return soundtrack's actually better, which is the least utilized. But I'm like, why don't they use all this music? It's just like the Ghostbusters game. They used all the orchestrated music from the first film, but not the second. So as much fun as I had with the Ghostbuster games, I don't want to complain about it because I think it's awesome. This Batmobile kind of throws me off a little bit because when you're used to using the other Batmobiles, there's like this one switch you have to worry about. It kind of reminds me of the Batmobile switch in the actual movies, where he has like this one content sensitive switch. Sorry, I'm trying not to burp into the microphone, so I'm trying to keep it down. I know that's really gross, but you know, that's what happens when you try to do things spare the moment. I keep on accidentally like pushing up the left trigger for the brakes, but you got to use square or your Batmobile goes into a tank mode. That doesn't happen with this, but the other Batmobiles only use like this one button, like the ones from the movie that make like those doors open and close, which I had to figure out. Actually, when I first played these tracks, I didn't even know what the hell I was doing. which is probably normal for you guys to see. This is the first time I'm actually playing this particular track, but I was playing Scarecrow tracks. Unfortunately, I won't be able to show you all the tracks in this video, especially the 1960s Batmobile that's coming out later this month. But like I said, I'd like to cover more of this because there's a lot of stuff in the DLC and stuff like that that like hasn't even been released yet, and it's actual game content. It's not like just they're giving you skins, but it's not just skins. There's mission stuff, like what do they call it, like the augmented reality shit or whatever, like these arena modes where you practice your fighting and stuff like that. They're a lot harder than the stuff in the main game because they're challenging and grading you based on how fast or how well you do something. But they're just really fun to do, and now that I got it, because I was kind of on the fence, because I kind of feel like for a casual gamer, if I'm not telling you how much you should pay, but if I was a casual gamer and I just kind of liked the game and was interested in the extra content, honestly I think it should be like $20, because I don't think it really justifies $40, because, you know, I don't know. I just don't think there's a $40 amount of content there. It's close, but I think the $27 price I paid was much more fair. But for somebody like me who loves the Batman Arkham series and likes Batman in general, especially the darker tone, this is obviously a homage to like the animated series as well as the comics, in my opinion, because they used a lot of the voices from the actual animated series or whatever. It's like there's almost like not a price you can put on it, so it's pretty awesome. So I'm gonna try to end this video with one last thing. I'm gonna probably die and then I'll probably call it quits, but I'm gonna wrap it up with a nice red and black ribbon, which is a really bad reference to playing the Harley Quinn. I have GCPD Lockdown. I just downloaded that. I haven't even played it. It looks like there's enough room for maybe like 2 or 3 more single player story missions. I don't know if the list is gonna be able to scroll down or not, but like there's supposed to be like 6 months worth of content, and they promised a lot as far as the story mode goes. The first couple of story modes with Harley Quinn, which we're playing now, this is my favorite look of Harley Quinn, her little goth girl outfit, I think, like versus the classic animated series one that works well in the animated universe, but not so much for a realistic realistic as it can be universe. Like, I think this outfit has that comic book flamboyance, but it's sort of grounded as well. I mean, I can take this more serious than some some woman dressed up as a court jester. Although her voice kind of kills it. I don't know why, but I think that Harley Quinn sounds even more flamboyant in this game than she did in the other ones, including the animated series, even though this is the most serious one. But you can see her fighting style is a lot different. She can get hurt a lot easier, and it takes more for her to like knock the police down. But the fighting system in this game, I think, is the most perfected. I know Mad Max uses it. Mad Max's system is a little bit more grittier, and you get hit a lot more just because, you know, it's a grittier universe, and Mad Max is kind of like Indiana Jones, where he gets his ass kicked too. Although I'd say Batman kind of does too, indirectly. But yeah, make that 1989 Batman universe game where Batman can kill people. Although that's not that important. I think the aesthetics and the character designs and the environment designs and the music and just going back into that world of nostalgia would be awesome. But I'm sure a lot of people are feeling that way about the 1960s TV show, and I'm sure that expansion that's coming out soon will be a hit. And there's actually a Catwoman story mission that's coming out in the near future. So I like Harley Quinn's little detective mode vision that has all the graffiti of the laughter and shit on the walls. I'm kind of bummed that some of these missions weren't longer. I would like to see more with Harley Quinn. And I hope with the skins, they actually do have the skins from the animated series like they did in the older Arkham games, like Arkham City and Arkham Asylum had animated series skins, but I just think for, maybe it was just Arkham City, but they had one for Batman and Catwoman. They even had like a cell shaded black outline to them. But yeah, these missions are different enough. I think Harley Quinn's probably the most different, which is why I chose her. Plus she's like my favorite character beside Batman. I actually like Catwoman a lot too. And the universe, I don't know why. I guess she's just there's like a story to it, but she's just a representation of like, or a symbol, like a time in my life when the animated series came out, which was like my favorite show and stuff like that. And she was created specifically for a show, so she's kind of like one of my favorite characters because she represents like she's like an icon that represents like a certain specific time in my life. And since she was created specifically for the show, like I just kind of got attached to like that symbol. So I'm a super huge Harley Quinn fan, and like if I see little Harley Quinn merchandise and stuff like that, sometimes I'll put it on the shelf just as a reminder, because if I just had like Batman, it could be Batman from anything, even if you had the animated series one. And since Harley Quinn was specifically made for that series, it just works better. But yeah, she has like different modes. She has like this berserker mode where she goes batshit crazy and is able to beat the shit out of like everybody. She's practically invincible. But she doesn't have like all the gadgets and stuff like Robin and Batgirl and Batman have, where they actually can take the guns, or she can take the guns out of the hand. She can like jump around and dodge bullets. Look, she's in her berserker mode. That's why the little thing's going ha 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 ha. I said it out loud, but it's more like H-A-H-A-H-A. I'm sort of tired here, so you're just gonna have to work with me. But yeah, I like the little animations. A lot goes into these little like homemade, not little homemade, DLC story missions. They're not just reskinned or added on. You're actually going to different locations, and they're actually programmed separately. This actually came with the game for free, so I don't know if these were on disc or not. But I mean, you weren't charged for them, so it's whatever. You didn't start getting charged for the levels, I think, beside the Red Hood level, which you got free at GameStop. I don't know if you got it free with the other games. But I know you started getting charged with the Batgirl level, which was actually fairly long. It was about 2 to 3 hours long, which was lengthy, and it took place in its own amusement park. But yeah, hopefully you got something out of this video. I know I rambled a lot. I really wanted to make a video today, and I know I'm covering the same game, but I really like this game, and I'm going back and forth of what's gonna be number one. But if this isn't number one, it was a close call. But thank you guys so much for watching and supporting the channel. I appreciate all of you that have stayed there with me and watched my channel, have commented and watched it over and over again, despite however the quality comes out. I appreciate it more than you know. And for those of you that are new that are watching this and enjoying it, thank you for giving this channel a chance. Anyway, I hope you're doing all well, and I hope you're not dealing with this shitty weather, because it is like draining the crap out of me, where like I'd probably be more upbeat if it was like a nice day and shit like that, but it's just draining. But anyway, guys, I hope you're all doing well and take care. Bye. And
if you want to, like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.